Hello, everybody. My name is Ezekiel Tyrus, and I really love root beer. Today, we often on root beer reviews review like kind of obscure or hard to find root beers, but not today. Today, we are going to be reviewing Barq's root beer. I'm sure everybody has tried Barq's root beer. Barq's root beer has been around since the 1890s. Actually, says 1898 on here, and it was invented by a guy whose name was Edward Barq, who had relocated down to Biloxi, Mississippi, and that's where they started brewing it. So it's a southern thing from Mississippi. Something that's kind of interesting about Barq's is, and I'm going to tell you why this is. Barq's is one of the few root beers on the market out there that actually has caffeine in it. One of the reasons why they started doing the slogan, Barq's has bite, is because they believe the caffeine gave you a little bit of jolt, like the same way a cup of coffee does. So anyway, now why does most root beer not have caffeine in it? Well, that's a very good reason. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of root beer here. Often when people ask why is root beer called root beer, you'll hear someone say, "Oh, because it's the root of a sarsaparilla tree that's used in making it." That's all bullshit. That's not the story. The story is the true story behind root beer is a man by the name of Samuel L. Root, R-O-O-T, was a Mormon. Before he converted to Mormonism sometime in the 1800s, he had been a brewer. He used to brew his own beer. When he converted to Mormonism, he couldn't drink beer anymore. So he found that he really missed the taste of beer. He found that he really kind of missed the draft, and he kind of missed everything about it. So he decided, with his expertise and experience as a beer brewer, that he was going to brew a type of beer that he and other Mormons could drink. And he called this beer that he brewed that was non-alcoholic, and because he was a Mormon, it actually had no caffeine in it either. So he named it after himself, root beer. So that's where we get root beer from, and what's a great story. And so what makes Barq's unusual is it's one of the few root beers out there that actually does have caffeine in it. So, they say necessity is always the mother of invention. So that was something that came out of Mormonism. If there are any Mormon people out there that enjoy my root beer reviews, come aboard. But anyway, I'm not going to do religion reviews, though I probably could. So anyway, let's give Barq's root beer a try. That's a really great root beer, guys. Has a little bit of a head on it, has a little bit of a draft. It's got a nice silver, simple presentation with Barq's and little root beer barrels over there. It's a fine presentation. Kind of old school and new school at the same time. Oh, but the taste of Barq's. It's been years since I've had a Hires root beer. I had A&W recently, and I think out of all the mass-produced root beer out there, though I am a fan of mugs, and we'll talk about mugs later, Barq's root beer might be the best. It does have a bite to it. It has the caffeine that some of us need caffeine, and on top of that, it just has a very wonderful flavor. Root beer is supposed to have a little flavor on the tongue. That makes the tongue nice and slippery afterwards. This has it. It very reasonably could, if they decide to switch to pure cane sugar, consider itself a gourmet root beer. Barq's root beer, out of all the mass-marketed root beers, really is, I think, the best. It's not better than some of the gourmet root beers I've been drinking, but Barq's root beer is awfully good. And if I ever go to a restaurant and I see that they have Barq's root beer, I must always order it because Barq's root beer is really great. So, I rate everything on a basis of bad, fair, good, very good, and great. Hey, Barq's root beer is great. I highly recommend Barq's root beer. If there's somebody out there in this world who actually hasn't tried Barq's, I do recommend it. Again, Thank you very much. My name is Ezekiel Tyrus, and I hope you learned a little bit something about root beer today. Thank you very much.